Legacies, of course, are man-made, so to speak, and something has to happen to bring it about, but there are many things that enter into that happening. Like Pauley Pavilion certainly has a lot to do with it.
42 years ago, I had the pleasure of playing the very first game in Pauley Pavilion, and it was the best. Pauley Pavilion is hallowed ground for me.
There's a reverence about it because of Coach Wooden and all the other great coaches. I mean, you look at Al Skates and what he accomplished and playing for Andy Banikowski also on the volleyball team.
The place is so impressive that the Bruins have such a big edge playing in Pauley Pavilion, and the fans know it. The players know it.
The building symbolizes the greatness that UCLA basketball has been. The building is still the place, and the building is still Nell and John Wooden Court.
The first time I ever walked into this building, it was like I had, my hair standing up and it had tingles.
This is the mecca of college basketball. You want to win a national championship, you come to UCLA, you play in Pauley Pavilion.
After I left, I wanted my legacy to be, I added one of the banners up there. I helped to be part of that.
I've talked to a lot of the guys that I've played against. They just get mesmerized just because of the intimidation factor of seeing the championship banners, looking over and seeing John Wooden. And it was always a special, special treat to be on the hallowed hardwood of Pauley Pavilion.
It's a community icon. I mean, people really gather to Pauley Pavilion. The presidents that have come through, the sports figures. We've had the Olympics here, and the entertainers that have come through, the different kinds of shows that have been produced here. So many students that have graduated from UCLA. I know from being an athlete and a student here that the people come and watch, and there's such an embrace about being here at Pauley Pavilion.
Pauley Pavilion was built in 1964. At that time, it was the finest, most advanced, most admired multi-purpose arena found on a college campus. But after 40 years, we're now ready to bring Pauley Pavilion into the 21st century. And we will do this while maintaining the traditions of the past. We're excited about the opportunity to make Pauley Pavilion the first-class facility that our program and community deserves. When is the right time? Right time is now. Any great team or organization starts with an emphasis on the basics, on the fundamentals. This project is no different. We will begin with major infrastructure enhancements, including mechanical, electrical, sprinkler and plumbing systems. We will improve the aisles and stairways to include handrails for safety, and of course we will also add new restrooms and concessions. Pauley Pavilion will also have a new front door, which will feature a fabulous grand lobby. And it will have several new entry sequences that will improve fan circulation. For basketball games, we will bring seating closer to the court, allowing us the opportunity to add about 1,000 seats and create the kind of atmosphere which in today's collegiate environment leads to championship performance.
When this building's completed, our student athletes are going to truly benefit from having the greatest facility, whether it's locker room, film room, training facilities in the country. Our fans are going to enjoy the greatest college basketball experience in the country, being right on top of the game, the state-of-the-art video board to replay all the great action and all the great plays, the dunks, the block shots, the diving on the floor for the ball, the sound system. It's going to be truly special.
Pauley Pavilion is an iconic arena, the home to a legacy of championship performance and the greatest men's basketball dynasty in the history of collegiate sports. Pauley Pavilion is also the home to other national championship teams, men's and women's volleyball, women's basketball, and men's and women's gymnastics. A grand total of 41 championships in all. The past is very important to us. The tradition has been established. But now it is a time to build on that tradition, and a successful campaign of champions will make this happen.
Now here we are 42 years later. Pauley Pavilion is no longer the standard. And what we need to do is bring it back to what it had been back in the day.
Anybody that cares about Pauley Pavilion, and not only Pauley Pavilion but UCLA, you've got to get involved in the renovation of this.
We need this. This facility must be renovated, and it's going to really help our program not only maintain, but I think improve where we are right now. It's all about recruiting. Players are the lifeblood of the program. The reason UCLA's had so many good teams over the years is because we've had so many great players. And we've got to do a better job of recruiting here in the future if we want to maintain where we are right now.
This is what kids want nowadays. You know, this is a new generation. When they come into Pauley, you know, after it's been renovated, they're going to really be like, hey, I want to play here.
From looking at the plans, I wish I can go back and be 17 years old again and you know, to have an opportunity to play in Pauley Pavilion looking like that.
Being a part of the campaign is very important, and I think that it should be important to all the people that have come through UCLA, because Pauley Pavilion stands for so much, not only for UCLA, but for Los Angeles.
And it's not just for the next 5 years. This building that we are now going to reconstruct and I think make it into, again, the state-of-the-art building in all of college basketball will be one that will last for the next 50 years.
Let's restore it. Let's bring back the greatness of Pauley Pavilion.
Join the campaign of champions.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Come join us.
Well, as you know, I was at UCLA for 27 years. Many wonderful things happened to me while I was there, but nothing compared with getting Pauley Pavilion. When Pauley was built, it's just like manna from heaven.